What's up, y'all? We're back, and as promised, we're here to talk about the Fantastic Four movie. This is a spoiler review. If you want to not be spoiled, go check out my spoiler free video. But we about to get right into it. So, right off the bat, I love this movie. If I had to say one gripe is, I would say it wasn't as much action as I liked, but at the same time, the story was so good, I'm okay with not having action. I did want to see them utilize their powers a lot more. Well, at least you know what I'm saying, Mr. Fantastic or Reed Richards. He's the only one I feel like didn't use their powers as much as everyone else. Not only that, he felt like he was limited with how far he can stretch, at least in this movie. Like, there's a scene where Galactus grabs him and like kind of like pulls him, and it seems as if he was being hurt from that. And I'm just thinking like, yo, he can stretch infinitely, but maybe there is a distance to how far he can stretch. But other than that, I would say this was pretty much a perfect movie. We have it where this world all loves and respects the Fantastic Four. They've been around for about 4 years now, hence Fantastic Four. That's crazy. They've been around 4 years now. The world loves them, respect them. There's cartoons about them. There's merchandise such as toys. Everyone wants to be a part of the Fantastic Four family. Like, be someone who sees them and gets to meet them. And you have it where their world that this movie takes place in is just, it was amazing, man. I liked how it didn't really seem like there was any crime. Even the criminals they did show when they did like flashbacks, they didn't feel like the type of villains that would harm people. They just felt like people that were just trying to get their way, like Mole Man being an example. Like, it didn't seem like he was trying to hurt people. He was just trying to have his people treated with respect. And I like that about this world. In fact, that's a world that we should strive to be like, where there's pretty much, harmony among the whole planet. Everybody knows about the Fantastic Four, and everyone wants to be like them because in their eyes, they're like the most noblest people around. And I really like that. You even have it where, these people eventually they turn on the Fantastic Four because they find out what Galactus wants. And I like that this movie showcased how even good people can be corrupted when faced with a real threat. You have where Galactus is coming to devour their planet, and he gives them the option, like, "Yo, give me your child Franklin, and I will spare your planet." And it shows just how honest and good the people are of this universe, because Reed Richards could have kept that shit to himself, to be honest with you. But no, he chose to tell the world what Galactus' demand was. And he said, like, yo, the price he asked for is too high a price. He asked for my child. And he could have kept that a secret and just said, there's nothing we can do to stop Galactus from coming. He's coming, and we're going to have to fight him. But no, he goes to tell the world the truth, and then the world gets mad at the Fantastic Four about that. They're saying the Fantastic Four is selfish because they don't want to sacrifice one kid to save an entire planet. And I do get where the people are coming from. That does sound like a small price to pay when it comes to saving the world. But at the same time, to sacrifice a child, even if it's just one child, just seems like a monster thing to do. Like, how would the world, like, let's just say they actually did it. How would the world recover from that, knowing they sacrificed a child in order to spare their lives? Like, I don't know. That's something you can't come back from. That's just how I feel about it. But you have that going down, and then eventually Sue, she comes and she talks to the world. She says like this line, which I thought was very powerful. She says like, "Yo, I'm not sacrificing my son for the world, and I won't sacrifice the world for my son. We are a family." Like, and she's saying the whole world, like, we are a family. We will come up with a way together to stop them. We will fight this to the end. And it kind of like lets the people know, like, yo, man, I can't believe we were thinking this way. We were actually thinking about giving up a kid, giving up a part of our family, and I really like that moment. I just like how the world itself just felt so united, man. That was the best part about this movie, is just how united this world was. But you have it where Galactus comes, and I love the fact that they made Galactus felt like a threat. Like, this whole movie, outside of like the beginning, this whole movie just felt like a struggle, a fight to survive. and that's what everyone was going through. And I don't know. To me, I feel like that's the best part of this movie, and maybe it's just me. Like, well, the second best part, the United World is my favorite part. But this would be the second best part of the movie. Is just how threatening they made Galactus feel. Even the Silver Surfer. There's a point when they go to talk to Galactus, and Galactus says like, "Nah, bro, I'm gonna get your child regardless. He's gonna be my successor. That way, I can finally rest." And Galactus, and they're trying to escape from Galactus, and you have the Silver Surfer chasing after them to get to the baby. That scene felt dire. Like it felt like, yo, no matter what they were doing, it was nothing they can do to escape the threat of the Silver Surfer. But eventually they do get away by kind of trapping her in a black hole. And I don't know, I just really like the way they handled that, man. Then you would just have like Sue, like showing the strength of her mother. I don't know how many of y'all seen the videos of mothers doing extraordinary things in order to protect their child, but you have it where she digs deep. Once a Galactus arrives on the planet, she digs deep and she uses every ounce of her power to stop Galactus, so much so that her life was lost in the process. And I just thought that was a powerful moment. Like, even I was just like, yo, damn, that's tough, man. That's tough. So you have it where she was only able to survive due to the power of her son, Franklin. Franklin, I don't know if he rewind time or just restarted her heart, warp reality. I'm not exactly sure what he did, but he was able to bring her back to life. And I just thought that was an amazing moment as well. Just seeing the whole crew just face off against, Galactus. And there was a scene where she made like a lens of a magnified lens for Johnny to hit his flames through to amplify his power to blast Galactus in the eye. I thought that was dope. I will say I would have liked for them to have been, fight a little bit more against Galactus. I mean, he was there, he was doing stuff, but he was so small compared to Galactus. It felt like he really wasn't contributing to the battle, if you ask me. Another thing I liked about this movie is the fact that everyone felt intelligent. Like, yo, and when you think about the older Fantastic Four movies, they always made Johnny feel like a hothead. Maybe not so much with the Michael B. Jordan one. He kind of seemed intelligent, but the overall movie was, you know. But the way they handled him in the 2005 Fantastic Four, where it just felt like a player, not necessarily someone who flies a spaceship. But in this movie, they made it where he was just as smart as everyone else. I mean, he wasn't on Reed level, but he was very intelligent. He was able to decipher another language, which shows his intelligence. Sue was showing her intelligence as well, and so was Ben. So I really like how everyone showcased that they were smart. Even in the beginning of the movie, you have it where Reed says like, "Yo, I'm going to space with three of the most smartest minds in the world." I don't know why I got tongue tied right there. And he says like, "Yo, my brother-in-law, my wife, and my best friend Ben." And I like that this movie showcased that they all were, very intelligent. Then you have it where we get towards the end of the movie, and you have it where we get the mid-credit scene where they actually show Doctor Doom with Franklin. Now you don't get to see his face. I mean, everyone do know, but I would have loved for it to be Robert Downey Jr. so we could have saw his face. But I imagine they didn't want to have to pay that much money for such a small scene, so they just had a regular person wearing the outfit with their back turned. But that's how the movie ends, and then we get the final, end credit scene where it's just a cartoon of the Fantastic Four, which wasn't really that big of a deal. Honestly, I was kind of mad I waited for that, but it is what it is. But all in all, great movie. Liked everything they went through. The score was amazing. The threat of Galactus was real. The threat of the Silver Surfer was real. Loved the way they utilized the powers of Johnny and Sue. It was just a really great movie. But let me know y'all thoughts for those who have seen it, how y'all felt about it. What was your favorite moment? Who was your favorite character? Let me know down below, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.